Hello guys, how are we all doing? Welcome back to Championship Predictions, the final Championship predictions before Christmas, and I'm joined by Sophie.
Hello. You didn't ask how I was.
Well,
I'm very well, thank you.
I'm joking. How are you?
Yeah, I'm very well, thank you. I am looking forward to these games in and around Christmas because there's so many of them.
Yeah, and there's some absolutely massive ones this week, I must say, Sophie. Really looking forward to this. Guys, as ever, do make sure to share your predictions down below. And once again, let's go for a big like target as it's nearly Christmas time. Let's go for 1,300 likes on this one. If you haven't already dropped a like, make sure to do so. And once again, if you haven't already subscribed, please do make sure to do so. Your support has been absolutely fantastic, so a massive thank you from us. Last week in the predictions, Sophie did get the better of me, so she has moved ahead in the predictions overall.
It's so tight, isn't it?
It keeps happening where one of us will overtake the other, so I've just got to hope that my predictions this week are a lot better. On to the predictions themselves, Sophie, and let's start with a couple of games on Friday night. We are starting with Bristol City versus Hull City. Great result for both last week. Bristol City beat Sunderland, and Sunderland had been, you know, in decent form, I suppose, or they'd at least picked up a couple of decent results after Tony Mowbray had gone. Hull City, Sophie, dark horse.
Yeah.
Or even not even a dark horse now, because everyone's picking up on it.
Everyone's aware of it, yeah.
I can say this for myself, Sophie. I've been keeping an eye on Hull City recently, and they are doing very well. You know, especially with Philogene out at the moment as well.
I thought that would be a massive miss, but they're doing all right without him. They
won 3-0 at home to Cardiff last week, and Cardiff have not been a bad team this season, so great result for Hull City.
Cool that as well.
This one's going to be more difficult for Hull. They are on the road, and Bristol City got a great result against Sunderland last week. But there's something about this Tigers team, Sophie, that makes me think they could go the distance this season and stay in that top 6. I think they might just grind it out. I'm going to go Bristol City 1, Hull City 2.
Yeah, I mean, I don't often give Bristol City credit, so massive well done on that performance against Sunderland. Well, it's big 3 points, to be honest.
Yeah,
we didn't see it happening, so fair play.
It is a good result.
But I'm going to say you're going to lose again, so after
she
that.
Didn't mean it.
No, I did. Yeah, Hull are on the up. They're just looking very, very good. Great result against Cardiff, but I did see that happening. Called the 3-0 happened, so I see you winning 2-1 this week. I actually do think it's going to be a bit of a closer game, but still walking away winners, so 2-1. 2-1.
Okay, yeah, both going for the Tigers. Share your thoughts on that one. Next up, Sophie, we'll go down to South Wales as Swansea City host Preston North End, also on the Friday night. Two teams that could really do with a win, couldn't they? Both lost last week. Swansea lost at home to Middlesbrough 2-1. Preston lost at home to Watford 5-1.
Yeah, and there was a Preston fan saying, "Oh, you've not backed my team, there's going to be egg on your face."
Yeah,
really?
Yeah, Sophie, you did back Watford, but I suppose
not that heavy though.
No one was ever going to predict 5-1, were they?
No.
Preston have got to be, well, it's difficult. Preston will either be really low on confidence, or they could be really fired up for this.
Yeah.
I think what they'll do is they'll give a better account of themselves, but they've just not got that winning feeling, have they?
No.
Maybe just not that bit of quality at the moment. And I feel like the ball might just be bouncing luckily here for Swansea City. With the home advantage, can they get a crucial win just before Christmas? Yeah, I'm going to go with them. Swansea 2, Preston 1.
Yeah, do you know what? I think Preston have got to bounce back from that heavy defeat. And I always say it, when you're on like a bad run of form, you need to get a draw and then look to push on from that. And I see a draw playing out actually, because Swansea haven't overly impressed me either. 1-1.
1-1.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, share your thoughts, guys. I think, to be honest, though, they've both got to try and win that, haven't they?
100%.
Because of the run of form at the moment. Don't know how much a draw will be good for either. Anyway, Sophie, let's move on to the biggest championship game this season at Ellen Road on Saturday. It's Leeds United versus Ipswich Town. Leeds. Tell you what, how good were their fans?
Do you know what? They were really good. The bit that's by the away end, the only bit that sings, they were on it and they had good banter. So, yeah, fair play.
They were. And Coventry fans were absolutely fantastic as well.
As always.
Yeah, really enjoyed our trip to Ellen Road last week. It was a big game. Leeds United only managed to get the 1-1 draw. Ipswich were obviously involved in a big game. They only managed the 2-2 draw against Norwich. What I'd say is both teams were the better teams in their games. Ipswich and Leeds both feel like they should have won those games. On to this one, Sophie. This is absolutely massive.
It is.
And because of the 10-point gap between the two clubs, a draw is obviously a much better result for Ipswich.
And they're away as well.
Exactly. Leeds United need to win this. If we re-jog our memory back to earlier this season, Leeds did win at Ipswich. They won 4-3.
Yeah.
Unbelievable game. And I think we could get something similar. Both teams scoring quite a few. Both teams have got lots of attacking quality, but leave themselves open at times. Leeds need to win. I don't know. It really comes down to who is going to take their chances this week, because both of them were guilty of missing them last week. Do you know what's going to swing this for me, Sophie? The game earlier this season. The fact that we've already seen Leeds just about get the better of Ipswich. I might just go for Leeds again. I'm not 100% sure. Don't feel totally confident, but let's go for it. Leeds 3, Ipswich 2.
Yeah, I'm finding this really hard to separate the two. As you said, in their games at the weekend, they were both the better teams. What I will say about Leeds is I do think this is going to be a slightly easier game in a way that they're not going to have 10 men sitting behind the ball like Coventry set up, which it makes it hard to break down. They did get a goal, but then they also conceded from like one cross into the box. So defensively, that wasn't amazing because we weren't attacking at all, as their fans will know. Ipswich are going to attack. That's what they do, and they are quick with it. So I think they could punish Leeds. But Leeds, I don't see them losing at home. They're very good at home. So I'm not sitting on the fence when I say it, but for me, it's going to be an entertaining Desmond 2-2. I see there being goals.
No, you've sat on the fence there, Sophie.
It's not. Well, it's half on, half off.
Yeah. Wow, a 2-2 draw, Sophie. We both think there's going to be goals.
Yeah.
Leeds haven't lost at home yet.
No.
Both play open football.
Yeah. It could go anyway, couldn't it?
Leeds and Ipswich fans, obviously don't be too offended by our predictions. It's all a bit of fun, but you guys know how big this game is this weekend. Both Leeds and Ipswich fans, share your thoughts down in the comments. On to the next one then, Sophie. Let's go to Ewood Park. Blackburn Rovers take on Watford. Both of them had a 4-goal difference swing last week. Watford winning 5-1 at Preston, as we said, and Blackburn losing 4-0 at Southampton. Watford obviously coming back up to Lancashire here, and they'll be hoping to repeat the trick. Will it be 5-1 again? It's not impossible, but I don't think so. But I am going to go for Watford here, Sophie. Yeah. Maybe it's, I don't know, the Championship's that kind of league where it can all flip around and Blackburn win this.
Like 4-0 or something, you're like, eh?
But if Watford just do what they did again, they get the result. Blackburn, they only win or lose, so I don't think this will be a draw. I'm going to go for Watford. Blackburn 1, Watford 2.
Yeah, I'm in complete agreement with you there. I'm going to back Watford 2-1. I do think it's going to be a tighter game than the Preston game for Watford, but equally, Blackburn got torn apart by Southampton, so they'll be looking to bounce back, but I don't see them bouncing back with a win. So another Watford win for me, and I agree with your scoreline, 2-1.
2-1. Next up, Sophie, let's go to the King Power as Leicester City take on Rotherham United. Top v bottom.
Yeah.
This could get a little bit ugly, really, couldn't it?
It could, yeah.
Especially with Leicester being the home side. Rotherham are not very good away.
No.
Leicester won on Monday night. They beat Birmingham 3-2. I thought they were good going forwards.
Yeah, but not the best at the back. That's what I will say. I was talking to a Leicester fan last night and she wasn't very convinced with their performance. I wasn't massively. But they keep doing this and walking away with the 3 points, and that's all that matters.
I agree. And on the whole, though, they've still got the best defensive record in the league.
Yeah.
And it was a great weekend, really, for Leicester, because Ipswich and Leeds both dropped points. Yeah, quite straightforward for me, this, Sophie. Sorry, Rotherham. 3-0.
I was going to say that, but I feel like Rotherham might sit back a little bit, and Leicester have looked ridiculously good on the counter-attack. So are Rotherham going to commit many men forward? Possibly not. If they do, then I think it could be like 3-4-0 Leicester. I'm going to say 2-0 Leicester. So not massively different to yours, but I do see Leicester getting the goals here and obviously walking away with the 3 points. So
there you go.
Yeah, 2-0.
Share your thoughts, guys, on Leicester City versus Rotherham. Next up, Soph, we're going to go up to the Riverside as Middlesbrough take on West Bromwich Albion. Credit where credit's due, Middlesbrough did beat Port Vale 3-0 in the week.
Yeah.
And although some people might look at that and say, oh, Port Vale are from League One, that's easy. No, it isn't. It isn't easy, because Port Vale would have been fired up for that, because it's their first time at that stage of the competition. So, well done, Middlesbrough. Good result.
Yeah.
Has that taken it out of them? Possibly. Have they been suffering with injuries? Possibly.
Yeah.
And are they playing a good team in West Brom?
Definitely.
Let's go for a Christmas draw here, Sophie. I think both teams are decent. Middlesbrough have the home advantage. I was tempted to go with them, but then again, West Brom are pretty good. West Brom did drop points to Stoke City last week. You know, struggled to break them down and fell behind. So a little bit frustrating for the Baggies fans. Going to go for a draw. Middlesbrough 1, West Brom 1. Two good teams.
Yeah, two very good teams, and I think this could go either way. I was half tempted to say West Brom 2-1, but I'm actually going to swing it the other way. I think Middlesbrough really need the 3 points, to be honest, if they're hoping to get into the playoffs. So, yeah, 2-1 Middlesbrough for me, which would be a massive result. Yeah,
it's absolutely true. They do need to start clawing some results, yeah. But they did get a good win against Swansea in the Championship last week as well, we must mention. Next up, Sophie, let's go to East Anglia, and we're going to Norwich City versus Huddersfield Town, the David Wagner derby. Interesting this, Sophie. Huddersfield Town just keep plucking out enough results to keep them, you know, keep their heads above water. They got a 1-1 at Millwall last week, which you did predict.
I did.
And they scored, what, a 97th minute penalty?
It was very late on, yes.
Yeah, they did that against Coventry as well, didn't they?
Yeah.
Little pesky Huddersfield, eh? Coming and snatching things in the last minute.
They're the Grinch.
Grinch
of the Championship.
And will they ruin Christmas for Norwich City? Do you know what? I think it'll be quite close. Norwich have been in good form. Norwich have been in really good form, so most people will probably go Norwich City here, maybe comfortably, but I don't know, Huddersfield Town have got a bit of fight about them, which makes me think, should be alright, but I just think Norwich get the 3 points here. Norwich 2, Huddersfield Town 1.
Yeah, I agree with you again. I feel like Norwich have got more, to be honest, about them. So I do see them winning this one. I will give Huddersfield their dues as well, and they have been getting their late goals to get a point, and it is big points when you're at the bottom of, well, they're not bottom of the table, but they're down there. So they will be looking to get another point before Christmas, but for me, they'll be walking away pointless, and Norwich get the 2-1.
Oh, so both going 2-1.
Yeah.
So no Darren draw.
No Darren draw this week.
There you go. Sorry, Huddersfield Town fans. Share your thoughts, though, and Merry Christmas. On to the next one, Sophie. Let's go to Home Park, where we've got to talk about Plymouth Argyle, and they take on Birmingham City. The big talking point this week, Sophie, the manager, Schumacher. What do you make of that?
I can see why he's gone, because close to home, probably double, triple his wages.
Wow.
But would you really leave a club that's on the up to go to a club that's on the down? That will probably get rid of you.
In a football sense, I don't see it as a massive step forwards.
It's not. Financially, yes, but
yeah, the two reasons you pointed out probably true, and that might have been what's influenced him. But I think to myself as well, what he's building there is a project, and he's got credit in the bank to take him a long way.
Yeah.
Plymouth Argyle are on the up for me. You know, this is their first season back in the Championship, and they look like they're going to stay up pretty comfortably. I won't count my chickens just yet, but I think they'll be all right. And then from there, surely they build on it. In this game, Sophie, they take on Birmingham City, who are just, I don't know, they're
no fear football. I fear watching you.
Well, they did get a couple of goals against Leicester.
They did.
So give them a little bit of credit.
Yeah, but they hit the post, and then literally within 5 seconds they'd conceded.
Yeah,
that's such a Birmingham thing to happen.
They were so vulnerable from Leicester City just running at them.
Yeah.
There was nothing like too scintillating on the eye. Leicester City would just charge forwards, and Birmingham's defenders were running all over the place.
Yeah. Entertaining though.
Yeah, entertaining. And I do think this game will see a couple goals, but who's going to be the manager for Plymouth Argyle? I would imagine it's going to be an interim, and let's hope they can get a good manager in. I think what they need to do is, because it's Christmas now anyway, is maybe take their time to make sure they get the right one. Because this is still a massive season.
Yeah.
If they bring in the wrong manager and results start to turn, then they could actually still go down. I don't think they will. I think they'll be all right. And do you know what? Let's still give them a win. They've got the home advantage. Plymouth 2, Birmingham 1.
So I'm going to say a 1-1 draw, actually. With Plymouth being at home, could I see them win this? Yes. But I feel like Birmingham need to start getting something. And actually, against Leicester, going forward, they looked okay at times. They have got good players. We saw that under Eustace. It's just, under Rooney, they're not performing well and looks so shoddy at the back. And do I see them walking away with 3 points? Birmingham? No. But I will award them a draw. So 1-1.
1-1. Okay, interesting. Share your thoughts on Plymouth Argyle versus Birmingham City. Next up, we're going to go to West London, Sophie, as we have Queen's Park Rangers versus Southampton. If this was maybe a week ago, I might have been tempted to go for a draw because QPR had been on the up under Cifuentes. I still think they've been doing a decent job, but they did lose to Sheffield Wednesday last week, which is a bad result for them. And Southampton got a great result against Blackburn, 4-0 winners, which is a really convincing win. Because before that, I've looked at Southampton and thought, they're get-attable, if you know what I mean.
And they've done it against a good side as well. Blackburn are a good side for me, so...
Yeah, great result for Southampton, and I think they can build on it here. They really need to. You know, after winning 4-0 against Blackburn, if they come here and it's 1-1, that's really disappointing. But it won't be easy. QPR have certainly been a lot better under Cifuentes, so I'll go for QPR to narrowly lose again, 2-1. 2-1 to Southampton.
I'm going to say 3-1 Southampton, actually, because what we know about Southampton is they'll keep the ball well. What I had said before the Blackburn game is they're not doing a great deal with it. They must have heard me. They probably watched the video and played it before the game, got them fired up, and they won 4-0 because they made the most of their chances, didn't they? And I feel like they could do that against QPR, but I'm going to give QPR a goal because, as you've said, under their manager, they have looked better. But Southampton win for me. So 3-1, a little bit more convincing.
3-1.
Yeah.
Wow. Share your thoughts, guys, on that game. Southampton going away to QPR is a big game for both, obviously at both ends of the table. Can Southampton maybe go up this season?
Well, they're in it, aren't they?
I mean, as in top two. If Leeds and Ipswich is a draw or Leeds win, Southampton will also be making some progress. Just a couple of games left, Sophie. Let's go to Hillsborough, where the Owls are staying up. The Owls are staying up.
And now you're going to believe us. And now you're going to believe us.
I backed them again last week, Sophie.
Yeah.
2-1 against QPR, and they did it for me in the last minute.
Yeah, well done. Well done. That was a good result.
I'm telling you, Sheffield Wednesday have got a chance, and they take on Cardiff here, Sophie. Now, Cardiff have been, on the whole this season, pretty decent, but if you really just look at this last month, it's starting to go a bit pear-shaped, isn't it? To be fair, they played a very good Hull City team last week. Sheffield Wednesday are not quite on that level, but they are improving and starting to play like a top half team at the moment. The form is suggesting they'd be, top half if they hadn't obviously had a bad start to the season. And I tell you what, Sheffield Wednesday are going to win again. I'm telling you, Sheffield Wednesday fans, you've got a chance, and I'm not just doing this for fun. I can actually see improvements there.
Yeah, no, I can.
Not just results, but performances as well. Sheffield Wednesday 2, Cardiff 1. We'll go 2-1 again.
Do you know what? I'm going to say a clean sheet for Sheffield Wednesday, 2-0. I don't really predict you to win. When I did, I think you lost or you drew, so you probably won't be happy with me backing you, but I can see you winning. Cardiff, they lost 3-0 against Hull. They'll be wanting to bounce back, but as we've said, Sheffield Wednesday are on the up. They could be staying up. 2-0. 2-0.
The only thing I will say, though, is Sheffield Wednesday, let's hope you don't win on Boxing Day. Because they're coming into good form just before they play Coventry. Which is not what we want, is it?
No, it's not what we want, no.
But there you go. Sheffield Wednesday fans, we do think you've got a very decent chance of actually staying up now. Just a couple of games left, Sophie. Let's go to Stoke City, who take on Millwall. And, of course, we'll mention Schumacher again. This will be his first game for Stoke City. Difficult game to predict, to be honest. So both have got new managers. Obviously, Millwall's has been there a couple of games now. They're not really improving, in my opinion. I look at this and think this could be a manager who's not going to last very long. Got a great result in his first game against Sheffield Wednesday, and it's all gone pear-shaped. I don't know, with Stoke City. They might get a new manager bounce. Sometimes I'm not totally convinced by them. I hope it works, by the way. Stoke City always bring in a manager and you're kind of like, oh, here we go again. But in general, why shouldn't they, be doing all right? They were in the Premier League a few years ago. I'm going to back them to get off to a winning start here, Sophie. Schumacher will be desperate to get a result, and I think he grinds one out. Stoke 1, Millwall 0.
Yeah, I'm going to say Stoke 2-1. I agree. I think he's going to hit the ground running there with a win. Millwall, not that convincing for me in recent weeks, and I think it's going to be another poor performance for them, and Stoke are going to get the 3 points that they need, especially for their new manager. So yeah, 2-1 Stoke.
2-1 Stoke. Okay, on to the final game then, Sophie, and it includes our team as we head away to the Stadium of Light. It's Sunderland versus Coventry City. Interesting matchup this one, Sophie, just before Christmas time. Absolute respect to the Sky Blue Army, over 1,000, a few hundred heading up to the Stadium of Light for this one. And I tell you what, Coventry City have been improving, some really good results recently. The performances at times have had to be dogged.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to need something quite special to get something here, because Sunderland have been very good at home. 5 wins in 6 at home. And of course, they've got Michael Beale.
Is that a good thing?
Oh, not sure. I'm not sure, to be honest.
You sounded positive. Well, I know it's too early to say for him, but I know a lot of Sunderland fans aren't that happy with the appointment. I'm not too sure why you have got rid of Mowbray anyway.
Yeah.
So I was a little bit confused with that, but let's give the new manager a chance.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I don't exactly look at Beale and think this is a massive improvement on Tony Mowbray.
No.
Didn't do great at Rangers, did do pretty well at Queen's Park Rangers, and that was in the Championship, so they'll be hoping to get the best out of him, you know, this season in the Championship. Coventry don't have a bad record against Sunderland, Sophie. I was tempted to go for a draw, but you know what? I'm going to go Coventry, you know. Maybe they won't get a new manager bounce. What's the opposite of a new manager bounce?
Manager splat.
A manager splat. Yeah, we like that. A manager splat. There you go. Sunderland 1, Coventry City 2. The Sky Blue Army are coming home with 3 points.
Yep, I'm going for the same. Up the Sky Blues, walking away 2-1 winners. I'm feeling really confident about this one, actually.
Oh, don't say that, though. Don't say that.
I am. I'm feeling confident. I've got no shame in that. We're going to beat you 2-1. That's all I've got to say.
Well, yeah, I'd love a win, and I'm going for it, but I don't want to sound too confident, because Sunderland aren't
confident but not
bad.
cocky. Yeah.
There you go. I'd still think a draw's an okay result.
Well, yeah, it wouldn't be bad.
Share your predictions, guys, because that wraps up our Championship predictions for the final games before Christmas time. As I say, make sure to get those predictions down below. Make sure to drop a like and make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. It's free to do. Thank you for joining me, Sophie.
Thank you.
We will see you in the next video. Peace out.